Welcome in, everybody. Today we've got a little bit different of a show. Instead of doing the book review, we're going to be talking about the College World Series.
Different good sometimes, brother. Different
Yep.
good sometimes.
This is
Yes, sir.
different. Hopefully the next two shows are going to be a little different.
Just based on our history, I think it will. We might as well just get playing. You told me you going up there tomorrow, so I mean you already expect
I'm
it.
going up there. I'm leaving tomorrow.
You gotta expect it.
I expect it. Yeah, this is going to be
Yeah.
wild.
So
Welcome to the Just in Time podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, this is Will.
what's up, P? How you doing? Always good to see you. Always good day for having me on as always, brother. It's always been great. It's always been great, brother.
No problem. Thank you for being on.
Of course.
Thank you for being on.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, Coastal Carolina, LSU, double revenge. Because
Man.
that's who Jay lost to
Yes.
with Arizona, and that's who came in 16 and beat us
Yeah. So
in the Supers.
why don't you tell the lovely people about that tweet? The coastal people on their account, they trolled the Tigers. And said
I didn't
like
even.
you said, like this post, this is for and you listed the roster. You listed the roster. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Let's see if I can find it.
They a little cocky over there on the East Coast.
Yeah, they are a little cocky.
But we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but they're a little cocky over there. That's all right. Thing is, though, they're cocky, but it's like we talked about with Arkansas. They're playing with the chip. Coastal Carolina, the Cinderella story. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. LSU's going in there. They've been there. It's expected for
I
us
mean,
to
we
be
already
there.
got property in Nebraska. It's Baton Rouge North for a reason. So
Exactly. It's an expectation we set every year for ourselves. We're going to go there. We're going to win. And Jay Johnson making 2 trips to Omaha and 2 trips to the final, which this year sets us up great because we went 3-0. And even though we had to play 4 games with that rain delay, we're set up perfectly. We got the best 1-2 punch in baseball, college baseball right now.
so,
Cade Anderson and Anthony Eisen.
except
Those guys
you're right, man. Like I always said, baseball, it always starts on the mound. I always say, I always tell you just, we both bounce off each other. Just, baseball is a defensive sport by structure. It starts on the mound. Obviously, you
Yeah,
need to hit it. So I don't want to be misconstrued, but if you get if you get the starting rotation, the bullpen strong, you're gonna have a chance.
exactly. See, my thing is, I went through both teams and wrote down their stats. On paper, we're even. We have a little batting average. We're up 8 points, and we have about 47 more home runs than
That's
them.
right.
But I didn't really look at I just looked at the overall team. I just know from LSU, watching LSU, that we have the nation leader in strikeouts, and then we have the 3rd place leader in strikeouts at 170 for Cade Anderson and 143 with Anthony Eisen. But you know what? We also have 737 total strikeouts for the team, which leads the nation for the 2nd year in a row.
Starts on the mound, baby. And like now, even though last season,
Starts on the
even though
mound.
last year we struggled early on in conference play, we ramped it up at the end. Like I said, just give it. Obviously, you could get, get the hits here and there. So whether it's small ball, no, don't play a lot of small ball in college anymore. Home run or die, but like I said, however you get the points, especially in the
Yeah.
postseason, but just give me the pitcher, man.
I will say this, small ball has made its way because I watched almost every game of the World Series except for Coastal's game against Louisville yesterday with their I didn't really watch Louisville's win over Oregon State. I caught the tail end of it.
Which was upset. It was so
But
shocking to me, by the way.
yeah, small ball has made its way back, especially when that park plays big, like Charles Schwab Field plays. I've noticed a lot more teams bunting and just doing what they can to get runs
That's
across.
right.
Yeah, like yesterday, UCLA stole, not yesterday, the day before, on Tuesday. That rain delay got me all messed up.
We make it work, man.
because we should have had that day off on Tuesday. But UCLA steals home or tries to steal home. You don't really see that much. In this game, I find in this game this year, I want to say there's been single-digit home runs in the World Series this year.
Yeah.
For the first time, I think, since they swapped the bats, we're going into the finals with single-digit home runs.
That's insane, man.
Now, a lot of that, I think, has to do with that wind blowing in
Right.
all week.
Yeah. But it's a
But
factor
that's
nonetheless.
insane to me that, yeah. But I watched that Coastal Carolina Arizona game, and that game was back and forth. Coastal just had a little more in it at the end of the game, but that game was back and forth. That was a good game.
I always like to, one of my coworkers, it's funny you say that because one of my coworkers, we was talking about it, you know, I told her like, when it comes to college sports, I'm more about the blue bloods. And I know from where we're sitting, we're fans of LSU,
Yeah.
legendary football, baseball school, but I just like the blue bloods.
Yeah.
I know like Cinderella's a great story. Louisville's incredible. Murray State with incredible stories this year. I know it's just
Yeah.
like, the blue bloods take it to another gear more times than not. Just like, so when I saw,
Exactly.
and like, and it's a great story. Like when, just when Oregon State got knocked out and Arizona got knocked, it was shocking because Arizona won like 4 or 5 titles. Oregon State's won 3. So I feel like, it's gonna be a dogfight toward the end. But, obviously, so you
Yeah.
need that blend here and there. But
You need that blend here and there. Now, like I said, on paper, we match up perfectly with Coastal and LSU match up pretty closely. Our batting average, team ERA is 380. Their team ERA is 322. Now, we talked about before we started Coastal's conference. If you adjust our numbers for SEC play. Let's see. When you get past the top 4 and really top 3, because number 4 in Sun Belt was 33 and 26 overall. Below 500, all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams below 500 in the Sun Belt Conference. It's amazing to me that Coastal Carolina got the number 13 seed playing those types of teams. They might be good, but I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They might be good. But if LSU and the rest of the Southeastern Conference played teams that were that bad, all conference long, and the conference was that bad, none of them would touch
yeah, it's
no SEC
yeah.
school would touch the top 16.
Like, so, another coworker of mine, big LSU fan, we were talking about earlier in the week, said, they were talking about, the SEC getting so many bites at the apple. Somebody was complaining about SEC getting so many bites at the apple. Oh, you guys are you just using your NIL money to pay it. Like, you get so many bites at the apple in the tournament. I can't help that the fact that our conferences, we invest in our sports and our athletics, and they have
Yeah.
high end. Like, we won several.
And just to show you, though, just because we put all that money into the team, Coastal Carolina went and beat Auburn, swept Auburn in their super
That's
regional
it.
at Auburn's place. Auburn swept LSU.
Yep, that's right.
Now, really, if you watch that game, you can make the argument that LSU swept LSU because they gave them so many extra opportunities, misplaying balls in the outfield, swinging at stuff that wasn't strikes, no strike zone discipline or anything. But Auburn beat us that weekend. Guess who's not in Omaha?
Guess it. Not our Tigers.
Yeah. Our Tigers are in
Yeah.
Omaha. I'm going to watch them play. Speaking of that, a little thing that, I don't think people take into consideration, how many LSU fans are already there and how many are getting on planes or getting in cars and going this weekend? That place is going to be purple and gold.
There's always a championship goal.
Saturday, Sunday, and hopefully we win it in 2. I've got a feeling we go 2 and done.
That's how I like it.
We're not going to 3.
That's how I like it.
We're going 2 and done. We're not going to 3. We're going to win a championship at broad daylight in the middle of the day on a Sunday. I feel like championship should be won at night, but I'll take Sunday. It saves me some money, and I can come home a day early.
Hey, look, as long as I'm allowed to see it, I'm good. Shine.
I know. Like when I went in 23, that Monday night after we
Yeah.
won, the people of Omaha, all those businesses and those bars, were done. Every other night, 2 o'clock came. They were like, "Yeah, y'all just finish up. We're gonna stay open as late as we need to. Y'all just finish up and take your time." Monday, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:45. Y'all need to finish up. Y'all gotta go. We're closing at 2. We love y'all, but it's time for y'all to go.
But it just shows and it's great. The thing is, it shows the commitment. We talked about this previously, like on our earlier videos, is just when you build, like, if you're committed, you're committed. And it's easy to be committed to something where when you build the culture there. So like going
Exactly.
back to like the people always complain about the SEC, too many there's too many shots at the tournament. Listen, I mean, it's one thing. Listen, if we didn't have a great conference, we wouldn't have shots at the tournament.
Exactly. We have shots at the tournament because we have a great conference.
Yeah. Same thing with basketball. Look,
Just like we have, yeah. It's the exact. I don't watch too much basketball.
not
I'll
understand.
admit it, but
That's fine.
yeah.
But we have
But
set the record for like the most teams in the tournament in the men's side this year, which is crazy coming with this a conference that's legendary in baseball and football. I never thought I'd see the day, but it goes to show you all the football money trickling down to baseball first, then basketball.
exactly.
So you could complain about it you want to, but you're not changing because you're still getting you're still seeing the same results.
Yeah. I was trying to look up the Jello shot record, the updated numbers, but they hadn't posted anything. The last post they had was LSU with 25,061 Jello shots.
I like to celebrate with water.
My point being, the last few years, the winner of the Jello Shot Challenge has won the World Series, and we are 20,000 up on Coastal right now because this is update from 12 o'clock. We are 20,000 at least up on Coastal. If tradition holds true, we're winning.
That's close.
And if tradition just in LSU history in general holds up, we're winning.
Yeah, man.
Going over there to watch you lose.
You don't. I mean, because when you win 2 years ago, they won. So when I know you making the trip, I know
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I'm making the trip. I'm going to hold it down.
Look, make sure to sell them shirts up there too.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're sponsored by Blank Canvas T-shirts.
I love it.
You've got
Entrepreneur.
custom T-shirts, LSU T-shirts, whatever you need, she can do it.
I love the one you showed me.
Yeah.
It's like it encapsulate everything that goes on in the season. But
Yeah.
as much history we got, you have a different story every game, much less a season.
Yeah, like let's go last night.
Yep. In itself, that's a shirt in itself.
That's a shirt in itself. As much as they showed, see, Arkansas did some good stuff, but I forgot which 104.5 ESPN radio guy said it. Last night just shows where each program is, where LSU's program is, and where Arkansas's is. For the last 40 years for LSU and the last 20 years for Arkansas. Arkansas was great. I think this was his quote. Arkansas was great until they had to be. LSU was great and was even better when they had to be.
It's a chilling quote, man.
And he said that's why LSU has the Intimidator up in right field with 7 titles hanging up. In Arkansas, you go over there and they have the nicest facilities, but no championship flags.
Been runner up twice, man, but it's tough, man.
Yeah.
But it makes you appreciate.
They were
I'm sorry.
They were a foul ball away from winning their first one, and they couldn't get it done. Dropped in the middle of 3 of them. But last night, it started off with easy ground ball. Could have turned 2 and won that game.
Choice. And and it's funny. We were just talking about it last night. And like, it's just because it was, but man, it's crazy because I was just saying right before the play, I said, do not ground out to second. Please do not ground out because we got the couple hits. I said, please do not, because if you ground out, if the shortstop is anywhere near this game over. And I said, and like when he threw it out to third, it's funny because like at the time he did it, I was like, I didn't think much of it.
We were down 2.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, And for out, I was like, I didn't think about it at that immediate moment, but when I saw the replay, because I'm thinking it's like, did
He
he
could
broke
have
on it so fast?
totally
Yeah.
turned.
Did he broke on the
Yeah.
base so fast where he just had to get that quick out? But I was like, wow, he probably could have made that play.
Yeah. See, he messed up earlier in the game too on one that Pearson beat out a double play. He just waited for it. Instead of coming up and get it, he waited for it, flipped it, and Pearson beat out the
Yeah.
throw.
Yeah, man. It's just, and it spiraled from there just right after.
Yeah,
You
it really did. Jared Jones, we had 3 walk-off wins this season, and Jared Jones was a part of every single one of them. The home run telling the umpire this game is over with as he watched the ball go over the field, over the fence. Speaking of which, whenever he hits one and he stands at the plate and just watches it,
Yep. Look, when I saw him go come up to begin with, I said I knew it was trouble because right a
yeah,
few plays before that, Derek Couriel, he gained the extra base off the throwing error the first. It was like he had hesitated for a second trying to see how far the ball is,
yeah,
then he jetted back to second. I was like, I said, I don't
yeah.
like it. I don't like it for them.
Yeah, but we had so many opportunities last night that shouldn't have been a walk-off.
That's a great point. Like in the bottom of the eighth, man, we had like three, and when we couldn't score, I said that's trouble.
Yeah, we led the first inning off for sure with a double or a single and an error. And I think we had 2 or 3 more innings where we had the leadoff man get a double,
Right.
let off with a double, and we couldn't bring him home. This, you've got 2 days to rest.
Big
Well,
time.
at the time of this recording, 1 day of rest. Go to the zoo. I'm not a big zoo guy, but go to the zoo. Go do what you got to do. Just relax. Go back to the hotel, play some ping pong, get ready for the game on. Yeah, get ready for the game on Saturday. Come out and crush these guys.
I mean, this is a routine, man. Just like, yeah, I'm so glad we was be able to knock out the episode today. Want to make sure,
Yeah,
we need you safe on that road because we need you out there supporting. So we need all of you, brother.
yeah,
But it's just like what I wanted to go back to a point you were saying, like, they're great until they had to be great. It's just, and you don't want to be petty about stuff like that, but it's just you can't help but notice the pattern, right? You can't, and
yeah.
it's just psychologically. Like my dad was just saying this last night. It was just like when because it goes back to like what we were, he was saying like, we had to go through this with Alabama and football. Just like sometimes, like when we lose close, it was just knock on the door, just couldn't pull it through. It's just it's like that, and it's gutting. I just felt so gutted for them because when he had popped up to left, we popped up to left. I'm like, oh, they left field about to end it, but he
Not the
kept,
ball
yeah,
game.
he retreated. If he would have broke back on it like a half step sooner, this game is over. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
and it hit him in the head. Couldn't have made him any more uglier. Definitely didn't help him.
Yeah.
Then that Coastal kid,
Mhm.
or whatever his name is, Coastal,
Yeah.
hit him in the glove. Just couldn't get up high
Yep.
enough.
Yep.
But his dad went and took that picture of that lineup before the game. That his dad knew it was over with. This was the end of the season. You don't do that unless you think they're gonna play tomorrow.
Yeah. It's with that loss, Arkansas is now 0-5 all time in Omaha against my Tigers, our Tigers.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I love it. Does my heart good. Hey, there is hope for Arkansas for next year because look at what Tennessee did. LSU wins the title. We knocked them out as the only other SEC school in the tournament. We knocked them out to get the title. Arkansas can do that. But we got a young team,
Definitely.
youngish
Yeah.
team. We're only losing like 5 players, if that. Because some of them are juniors that might. Bear Jones is a junior. He could come back. Hernandez is out. He's a senior. But we got Aaron Beatty who's there right now. I don't think he's gotten in the game yet, but he's there right now. We have Pearson we're losing. Dickinson can come back. Anfield can come back. Am I missing anybody? We're gonna lose
Yeah,
Tate Anderson and
cause
Anthony
like, cause
Iverson.
yeah, cause for sure, man, I don't know if it was one guy in the bullpen. I was,
We might lose
I was that
Shores.
sure that's who I was leaning towards. It was a sophomore, but man, casually throwing 100 as a relief. I mean, that's serious, man.
Coming off of Tommy John surgery, casually
Casually,
throwing 100.
like I remember watching West Virginia series. I was like, he threw four in a row to over 100.
You know what's odd to me was last night, the times he got in trouble were the times that Yeski called up for the slider.
Yeah,
They couldn't touch the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, so we try to break off the slider. Normally that works unless they're sitting and waiting for the slider. They know they're not going to touch the fastball, so they're sitting on the slider. Dead red, and that's what got us in
yep,
trouble. Now, one of them was hit in center after we took Stanfield out to pinch hit him for Brown, who gave us the
right.
lead. And then Stanfield's in that game because he played center all week. He might run up and catch that ball in the air in that inning. You know, it is what it is.
I mean, like I said, just like I always say, my rule on postseason sports, just survive in advance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got to do what you got to do.
I don't care at this point, man. It'd be one dozen game 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Okay, we could score 3 total runs in 3 games. I don't care. Just as long
yeah.
as
As long as we don't let them
that's it.
win, don't let them score.
Yeah, we can't.
Win every inning.
Yeah, we can't let them win because they're coming in on a 26-game winning streak. So we got a winning streak to deal with apparently, and we also got the coach, who's giving us a grammar lesson.
What is it? The
I call
Chanticleers or
the
Chanticleers?
chandeliers hanging on by.
Not to be not to be disrespectful, but I mean, you don't go on a rant. This is why I know it. This is why, because that coach, instead of talking about the game and his game approach, was more
That's
worried
it.
about Chanticleers. Say it with me now.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl 49. The Seahawks were trying to repeat. They were playing the Patriots, and like the Seahawks. They were Marshall Lynch. I'm here.
That the one where we picked it
Yeah,
off on the goal
yeah.
line. The
They
Patriots
were
picked.
they were talking. Yeah, they was like Marshawn Lynch before because he said, "I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get." I'm like, but just answer the question. And Richard Sherman was going back and forth for
Yeah,
the reporters, like doing like this. I said, okay.
yeah. Okay.
I was at work. I was at work. I was working at Walgreens. That was like the first Super Bowl I missed in like several years. Like somebody came in. That's like I asked him who won, and like he said New England, and like he asked me a question. He said if you the Seahawks and you at the goal line, what you gonna do? I said I'm gonna give it the beast mode. And he said they didn't, and like he said,
Yeah.
and I said like if you don't give it to him, at least make him a decoy, do play action or something. But they
Yeah.
passed it, and it cost them.
Picked, and the rest is
Yeah.
history.
But yeah, not to get off on a side tangent, but just like it just goes me to
No, that.
just
Yeah.
right on time.
So here's a question for you: Who do you think is in a better position, Coastal or LSU?
I'm gonna go with the program that has 7 titles. We've been to 9 World
I'm
Series
going.
finals and 20 trips to Omaha overall.
Yeah, LSU is in a better position to me. We've got the best 1-2 punch in baseball. The 1-2 punch is the leader in strikeouts, the number one overall with strikeouts, and then the number 3 guy in the country with strikeouts. And this team at its best is unstoppable.
Yeah. But they on the run, they can't stop.
Really? Yeah, I think they go win it. I saw a picture of Jay from when they lost to Coastal, and that man looked like he was plotting for Coastal's downfall. Whenever he got the chance, he was taking them down.
And that's such a powerful storyline on both sides. I'm really excited. Like I said, Coastal,
And
yeah,
the fact it happened in the same
yes,
year,
yeah.
too. Coastal had to go through LSU to beat LSU's future coach in the World Series
Bro, you
championship.
talk about the story, man. Listen, if college baseball was so regional focused, if ESPN actually promoted it more throughout the year, we'd be talking about this the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. But they're playing for two teams. They're playing for the 2016 LSU Tigers and the 2016 Arizona Wildcats.
You don't do it, brother.
Yeah. I've got LSU winning in two because LSU's coming in there. They might be playing a little revenge. I think the fans are playing up more of the revenge factor than the team is.
I agree.
It might be lingering in the back of Jay's mind, but Jay is a professional. He's probably not even thinking about that.
Probably doesn't want his team to think about that because it's about us.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, it ain't about me.
LSU's gonna go in there. They're gonna play loose. They're gonna play their game. They're gonna have fun. Coastal, on the other hand, they keep calling him the Cinderella story, and instead of just embracing it, Coastal gets pissed off.
Yeah, but
Like, I don't know why they're calling them the Cinderella team.
I mean,
They're the number 13 national seed or number 15.
they won the championship just under a decade ago. To me, Louisville merged in with the Cinderellas. So
Yeah. Coastal's a number 13 national seed. They're
that's
not
not a
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
But they keep calling them that, and you can tell they got a chip on their shoulder for it. They're putting so much pressure on themselves.
So hope they don't break. Let's go down there.
They're gonna break.
For their sake,
It's inevitable. They're gonna break.
then okay.
LSU's coming in playing loose. They ain't expected to be there. You know, it's expectation. This is what we do. When we're good, we come in and we win championships. I mean, we won 5 in a decade, then went on a decade-long dry spell, and then another decade-long dry.
Look, five in the 90s. We literally the 2000 decade. We started as champions and we ended the decade as champions. Then like
Had the chance in 17 to win it all. Couldn't get it done, but we came back in 2023. We're getting it done. Got it done. Getting it done in 25 too.
Yeah.
I'll be on my way back for a championship celebration.
We'll be ready for the pod, brother. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I want to throw something at you. What is one thing
What you got?
you wouldn't mind seeing? Like something, I'm trying to phrase this right. What's something that you would like to see that maybe nobody would expect from the LSU team? Like just so-and-so getting like 3-4 home runs in this, or just like a no-hitter. Like what would you?
Michael Braswell stepping up.
Look, that's what I have.
He deserves it.
Braswell, I have the same thing, but I said, listen, the one thing I would love to see, Michael Braswell hit like a walk-off homer to make it Warren Morris 2.0.
He has been so close.
My goodness, yes.
I think he's putting too much pressure on himself.
He's incredible defense. I said, brother, just play loose. I mean, listen, we know what you can do defensively. It's a defensive sport by structure. Just get on base. I said last night, just get on base. And we'll just take care of it.
I think his main issue is up here. It's mental.
I agree. Yeah.
He's great defensively.
Yeah.
And he proved last year at the end of the season he can be great offensively. He just needs to he needs to slow the game down. But I think he'll have the Jordan Thompson moment in Omaha.
I would be so thrilled for him. Even if it's not like a walk-off to right field. It could be a walk-off single. I don't care. Some type of clutch hit. Or
it could just be like Jordan Thompson was 0 for the whole World Series. Comes in that 18-4 win and starts us off in like the first or second inning? The second inning, top of the second. He comes in and we get the bases loaded. He comes in with a clutch hit down the line, a double.
I mean, listen, just like it brings me back real quick to like the book. Warren Morris didn't have a star by his name, and just to go from that to be etched in LSU sports lore forever. Man, just
like Jared Jones. This week it came out after he went 0 for 5 on Saturday. Kay Beloso posted, I think, a video or a picture of Jay Johnson working with Jared Jones on sliders. What does Jared Jones do his first at bat against UCLA? We were down 3-0. He gets up, puts a slider over the fence to make it 4-3. And then we never even looked back. We went all the way through.
But like you said, like regardless of the situation, we've been here before, and then we know how to turn it on. You know, just
Yeah.
this what separates us historically.
Yeah. Now, okay, I blame the NCAA for what happened on Monday night. You mean to tell me that the weather forecast was out all day long? You knew the rain was coming. You couldn't say, let's move this game up.
All day.
Move it up. Forecast out all day. Let's move the 2 games up,
Right.
make the call the night before, move the games up, play the games. No, you tried to hurt LSU because you know that you think our pitching staff isn't as deep as every other team in the countries. So you tried to hurt us. All you did was give Anthony Ison free range. Basically, he said he normally throws 45 pitch bullpens a couple times, maybe once or twice a week. He does that, Case and that, so he gets experience throwing the bullpen to live batters on the field. Then you have Case and Evans come out and just shine like the star he
Yeah,
is and the future star he's
that's
going to
right.
be. He's going to be a star.
Yeah, I mean, this
So all you did was set us up for the best 1-2 punch in college baseball.
and that's like you had said that, and my friend from my coworker said the same thing. Like just the delay is not ideal just on the surface, because I really wanted the extra day of rest. But like I said, man, benefit of having a strong bullpen is that at least you have guys you can trust. Now it's postseason, so they're gonna be
Yeah,
rotate. They're gonna be in heavy rotation either way. But
yeah.
yeah, you just do what you can. And like I said,
Let's see. We've had Kyle start. He got some time in. We've had Newt pitch a little bit. Cooper Williams pitched a little bit on Tuesday. Jason Evans and Chase Shores. And then, of course, Kate Anderson and Ison.
yep,
We're getting people some valuable rep on the mound. Oh, and didn't Rizzy pitch yesterday?
yeah,
Or
yeah, yep.
Myers?
That's right. I think it's Myers. Yeah, that's right. That sure
Yeah,
did. Yep.
Myers pitched yesterday. Yeah. So that's another one on the mound going for it. You
Right.
know?
Like I said, I mean, just I'm confident. Genuinely am. Like I said, close to nothing to sneeze at. I know, like winning streaks, regardless, it's incredible. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm eager to see how because they got off to a very fast start against Louisville. Because I was at the work watching that first thing, I was like, yeah, that game's over. But I know this is a
Yeah.
different bullpen, so it's different. It's a different
Yeah,
beast.
it's a different bullpen. It's a different beast, and they're gonna run into a buzzsaw tomorrow. I mean, on Saturday and
Look,
Sunday.
I'm eager to see it, man. I cannot
I
wait.
am too. How Edo said that? How Edo Ogeron said that a couple years ago. We coming. We coming, and we not backing down.
My dad loved it.
Go
My dad
Tigers.
loved that. Go Titans. Hey, just
Yeah, go
however you
Tigers.
can do it. I just listen. This is what
Yeah.
win it, baby. The eighth wonder. Eighth wonder.
Yep. Jay probably already got that sign up just like he did in 23. New Intimidator sign is probably already made.
Where did he get the incredible visionary? Who does he get that from?
Skip Bertman.
Right there, baby.
Look, I got the man. I had the ball sign that I was gonna hold up, but stuff happens.
Yeah,
But right
that's
there.
it. But yeah, I want to one thing I know I want to touch on this real quick. So hypothetically, whether it's a game in 2 games or three, doesn't really matter to me. Just get the dub to bring the crown home. But just so if he gets this second one, so you already have him. You have him as the second greatest coach in the program history. Yeah, makes sense.
Well, because most people forget about Smoke Laval
Yeah,
altogether.
it's 5 years. It's not a lot of time. Not a lot of time.
Yeah, most people completely forget. They think it jumped from. They think we just didn't have a baseball team
From like the
from
mid 2000s.
2000 from 2002 to 2007. LSU just didn't
And
have a
then we
baseball
took a
team.
but it got us in gear for the next round, baby. In the next era.
Yeah,
But look, football took care of us though. Look, well, 03 we
yeah.
won championship. Obviously, women's
Oh
with
seven.
the 2007, the women's basketball went to 5 straight Final Four. We were taken care of by Skip.
Yeah. Skip took care of us. But people just forget LSU had a baseball team for the rest of the time. They just Keep forgetting. This is what I was trying to hold up.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, brother. But yeah.
And it's written, you know those old school erasable pens we used to
Oh, I
have where it
loved
was
it. That
just
was
like
such a clutch, like the raceable. That was so clutch.
like it was like
Yeah,
these pens, but it just had the eraser
yeah,
on the
it was
end.
so clutch. 'Cause I
Yeah,
remember, like in high school, we would they said you can do your notes and stuff, and do it in pencil or erasable pen. I said, say less. And I
yeah,
thought erasable pens were
yeah.
legendary back in the day.
You know, all I had on me when I saw him that day was that foul ball and that erasable pen. And I went and ran up to him and got him to sign it with the erasable pen. Surprised it looked so good on there
Hey, look, I
still.
wouldn't even touch. But see, kids, that's why you gotta get your school supplies on time because you never know what you're gonna need them for.
Yeah.
Not just the classroom.
Thank God I didn't use the new school erasable pens. You put that in this heat too long and it evaporates for some
Yeah,
reason.
I mean, what happened?
But if you I wrote like notes when we first came up with the idea a year ago for this podcast. I wrote notes, like different stories from us from
Yeah,
college. One of them being, and I'm glad, I just thought about this because you brought up Josh last week.
yeah. Look,
So
brother Josh.
we go to this game, and this was before right field was the student
Yeah,
section. The student section used to be down the corner of the line where you had to get a crick in your neck to look at what
yeah,
was going
that's it.
on.
I remember in the cold.
So we go, and we normally just did standing room only. We just went. We had the tickets and the seats, but we couldn't see, so we went stand underneath the grandstand. One of these games, we decide let's go sit in the outfield. Me and you go in there like we own the place,
Hey, look,
like we
I
belong.
mean, tuition paid for it. Why not?
Yeah, Josh sitting there looking around like he just robbed something from a convenience store, squirrely. Keep looking at the event staff like I'm not supposed to be here.
Said you don't have to like be
And they
natural.
come up to us and
Oh dear, that's funny.
were like, tickets? Me and you were sitting there like, we must have lost them. And Josh is like, we're not supposed to be in this section.
I said, look, I can't help that nobody was sitting there. I said, listen,
Yeah.
look.
It was like the sixth
I
inning.
worked.
We go sit
I
in the
said, listen,
grandstand,
we worked hard.
underneath the grandstand after three,
I said, look,
and they're
we worked
fine.
hard Monday through Friday in the classroom.
Yeah.
So not to mention we had other jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, it was good times, man.
Yeah, it was good times. We need to do that again.
Yeah,
Maybe not getting kicked out. Maybe not getting kicked out with
wouldn't
Josh.
recommend that. But hey, go this. Yeah, I remember the last game I went to was 23. We played the Ole Miss at the end of the year. I said it was beautiful. It's nothing like it.
I remember in I remember in 19, me and you went to a game. That was the last time we went to a
Yeah,
game together, I think.
we was behind the foul pole. I mean, not foul pole, but
Yeah.
behind home plate.
The third
Unless,
base
yeah,
dugout.
exactly. Yeah, we had nothing
Yeah.
but pop ups over there. That was like the first time only time I ever sat over
Yeah.
there. 'Cause if it wasn't old student,
That's the first time I've ever sat so
yeah, that's
close.
it. Because like it was always student
Yeah.
section, old student section, or grandstand behind the third base dugout. But
Yeah.
only places we sit. That's it, man.
Yeah. I mean, we normally go and we sit there. That was the first time we've ever sat that close. And then I think later on, me and you were supposed to go to a game. You had us some tickets underneath right behind like the first base dugout, and something happened and you couldn't
Yeah.
go. So me and my sister went. It was freezing. We could have had a good old Dippin' Dots challenge like back in the day.
Yeah, that's it. But I love ice cream. I can't help it. Man, this is neat.
Yeah, no matter if it's 32 degrees
I mean,
outside, get some ice
people
cream.
drink coffee in the summer, so why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
People drink coffee in the summer.
That's all I'm lying.
Yeah, people drink
Yeah,
coffee in
it's
the
all
summer.
good.
Yeah, they do drink coffee in the summer.
Yep.
Nowadays, people drink that iced coffee during the summer.
Like, but see, you know what's funny? I never like the only thing this to let you know I'm not a coffee person. The only thing I ever get from Starbucks on a routine basis, whenever I do go, the vanilla bean frap. That's all I get.
I don't even remember the last time I had
I mean, I
Starbucks,
don't blame you
but
because
probably the last time I got something for Starbucks, because I don't drink coffee much
I'm not
anymore.
a coffee drinker. I don't like hot beverages. Period. Like I'll do hot
If
tea.
I
But
need
sometimes.
If I need caffeine, and this sounds horrible, but if when I need caffeine, my first option is a cold Coke in the morning. Bottled Coke, straight out the bottle, just like this,
Hey,
except the bigger one. It just tastes different.
no, listen. I mean, do what you gotta do. I mean, like
Yeah.
just the last time I went to Star, it was the one in Target because I had just left the I had a dental procedure, so like I couldn't eat nothing for like a couple hours. I just got something to drink on. So I just got vanilla bean frap. Yeah. My mouth was so numb, I just couldn't even feel the straw. I was like,
But
I'm like,
you had a procedure
yeah,
done, something with your
yeah,
mouth, and you drank out of a straw.
yeah. So that
Tell me you didn't have a tooth pulled or something.
I don't remember what it was. I think no, I had like it was like because I like I got my teeth. It was like a numbing of my teeth. I forgot the specific procedure because a couple years back I had my wisdom teeth removed. So I was like,
Yeah, when we were freshmen at Catholic, and that's when I had my wisdom teeth removed.
yeah, I got yours
Yeah,
earlier.
that's when mine were removed. When LSU won their championship in when was it?
Going
'09.
into sophomore year, yeah.
That's when my wisdom teeth were pulled.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah. Back in the day when Catholic, you got to be clean shaven even in the
Head to
summer.
toe, man.
In the summer, and I couldn't shave because my stitches and stuff. And they were like, "Don't shave." And I go over there, and I had to get written proof from the orthodontist that I couldn't shave. And then the note also said, "Don't get overheated in case of dry socket."
Work it, do it, it works.
Coach Martin had me on the track. I got
I love that.
what is it? I got my back was burnt because he had me doing sit ups and push ups on the black tarp or whatever we had, that tar. Had me doing sit ups while everybody else was running sprints because I couldn't get overheated. I don't know what he thought overheated meant.
Hey, you should have got the look. Oh, speaking of, this is what you should have had. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, we should have had these bad boys when we was coming up.
Oh, he's bringing out the neck fan. I got mine charging. I got mine charging right now because I'm gonna bring it this weekend because it's supposed to be 108 in Omaha on Saturday.
Yeah, I appreciate the recommend, but I got two. I got one for work and I got one
Yeah,
for outdoor work at home and gas and that's beautiful.
yeah,
Especially when you're
yeah. It's
stationary. Oh man,
yeah
that's torture.
comes in handy just sitting there
Yeah,
too at the box.
but see, that's the thing. But I never thought about it because I said, listen, first of all, I like being in the warm weather. I'm a warm weather guy. Whenever we went to
Yeah,
the box, we was always cold. I was like, um,
yeah,
now and I know they got some that with the neck warmers, so I'm gonna look into that as well.
yeah. I didn't know they had them with neck warmers
But
because South Louisiana, I never think of
I
cold.
don't either.
But then it snows. It snows heavy, and we out of school and everything for two
Yep,
days.
that's up.
No,
Hey,
3 days, a
hey,
week. Spent a week off.
we had a couple days, yeah, a couple days off from work. And we played in the snow. That was like
Yeah,
the first time we did a snow angel. I mean, record snowfall. Yeah,
17 since
yeah, man.
2017 when we had the last
That's
one.
right.
I remember that last one. I was finished with finals
Yeah.
in the last one. My sister wasn't, so she had to go in on
Oh,
that day that it
that's
snowed. Make the track up to. My mom had to bring her to LSU to go take a final, and she didn't get home until the end of the day. The lights were up. The lights were. It was dark outside. We had to go with the porch lights and go make a snowman in the front yard.
yes, indeed. Speaking of, like, you sent me that.
Kids today,
Go ahead. I'm gonna get to that.
what you, kids today just they don't know what it's like to have to go to school in the snow, sit there for 2 hours, and have them call you and be like, "You can come get your kids because it's snowing and we're not gonna have school."
I remember, like, because the Catholic, we follow the EBR like with their emergency protocol. I was like, growing up in
Yeah,
public school, going to EBR, that was a part of my life. I was like, man, they're making us look bad. I was like, because it was the same thing with Gustav. It was because freshman year we had Gustav and we had snow day. That was like the first snow day
yeah.
we had. Like I think I was like in early elementary school. That was like the first time it snowed since early elementary, like early 2000s. But it was like, man, that's crazy.
And then we really didn't have. that much snowfall
Yeah, it's yeah,
back
because like I
then.
always tell people, I said, listen, when it snows down here, it's not like most of the time it's just wet ice, like slushy ice. It's not
Yeah.
Buffalo, like Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
Unless now this was the closest thing.
If we do have any listeners from up north, here's the deal. When it gets below, it doesn't matter if it's snowing or not. If it gets below 32 degrees, most places will shut
As
down.
they should, because we're not built for that.
We go into we go into hard freeze. We can't drive on the roads because most people down here can't drive anyway.
Beat me to it. Get out of my head.
So if you put ice on the road, ain't nobody going
Yeah.
nowhere. Now, I will say this: when we had that freeze when we were at LSU, that first year when I lived with Josh, coming right out of the dorms and stuff, I ordered Chinese food because that was the only place that was open. This dude come in. I think he was the owner, delivering stuff. Chains on the tires and all. Never seen that in Baton Rouge. Like snow chains on the tires coming through. And he would not let you he wouldn't let you when you called an order. You get hot tea. I don't want it. No, no, no. It cold outside. You get hot tea. Okay. But I will say this. You know what I did drink that night? That hot tea.
You
Yeah, he
know
knew.
your customer. See, that's what we got to get back to service.
It tasted like hot leaf juice, but I drank that hot tea.
It came in. I said, look, at some point, look, you think a man in the desert is worried about if it's flavored water, if it's distilled
Yeah,
water? Give me that cup. Give me that bottle.
yeah. It tasted like hot
Uh,
leaf juice, but
Tastes like chicken.
hot leaf juice came in handy.
Tastes like chicken. Tastes like water.
Most of them, like most Chinese restaurants or Japanese restaurants, they give you soup. He said, "I'm gonna bring you some hot tea. That'll do you
But
good."
but, but you gotta love the situational awareness.
Yeah, situational awareness said, "Oh, you're gonna need this, so I'm
And
gonna
what
bring
did you
it to
drink
you."
that night?
Hey, hot
There you
tea,
go. You welcome.
because the pipes were frozen. The pipes were frozen at the apartment. I didn't have nothing else.
Add some right here, baby.
I'll never forget. Never forget.
Oh, that's a listen. Let me tell you something. I was living with my grandmother. This is about what 15 years ago at this point. 20, no, actually like over 20 years ago at this point. But anyway, so she has a two-story home, 16 steps. So like just straight down, no spiral, just straight down wooden steps. So like one day because I slept upstairs. So I took a step. I was going downstairs for something. I took one step. Then I took the step all the way to the bottom. At the very moment I hit the bottom, my uncle cause like to the left of the stairs, that's his room. That was his room at the time. As soon as I got
Yeah,
hit the bottom, he was just opening his door, looked at me, started laughing, and walked right back into his room. That's all he needed to see that day.
you know, if we had the technology
Yes.
that kids today have, it would be very bad for us. As much embarrassing stuff as we got
Yeah.
away with when we were
Look,
growing up,
let me tell you. Some,
much embarrassing. We had so many embarrassing things
look,
happen to us
I'm
growing
gonna
up.
tell you
But
one of them. I'm gonna tell you because you're my boy. And I love you, and you need to hear this story. So I was
all
like,
right,
me and my mom, my sister. I was like elementary school. I forgot who we was with. I think we was in New Orleans. I don't remember exactly, but I forgot what the occasion was. But they had like a big hill or something, and I saw people rolling down the
yeah,
hill. I was in. I had some like I had some LSU jogging pants on, and I started rolling down the hill because I want to roll down the hill. I'm a kid. I want to have fun. I'm not in
yeah.
school.
You mean you go
Just
roll down the
so I roll
hill?
down the hill. Roll down a couple times. When I got up one time, I noticed something that was on my pants. It was some dog feces on the pants. So I said, we end up getting it cleaned up, but that's probably the most embarrassing story. I mean, there's some, I've had some embarrassing moments, but that's up there.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that because I love you. You need to hear that story.
Trying to think of one. Ooh, no, I don't know. Off the top of my head, it just must be suppressed memories. I suppressed all the bad stuff.
Hey, listen, you have me to talk. This why we do this.
Yeah,
It's bigger than sports,
yeah,
man. It's big as life.
but it is. But I will say this, okay? So growing up, my grandparents in their backyard had this tree, and it was me, my sister, my two other cousins, and another cousin. We were all the same age, and they all lived in the neighborhood by my grandparents. We convinced one of my cousins that a tree was alive. Some of us, because he had rope swings and stuff, tire swings. Some of us were with ropes, like pulling, making the arms move. Another one brought him out, and one of them was talking to him like the tree was talking to him.
Like the ropes and stuff.
Terrified of the tree. Terrified of the tree.
Dude, that is hilarious.
The stuff, the stuff we get away with as kids.
But you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
Like I never,
we knew better.
we just
We knew better. We just still did it.
just I have a tree like my grandmother. She had like a tree, that magnolia tree in the front yard. We used to climb on it
Yeah,
all the time. We had I brought like a bag of crackers up there one time. We didn't have a tree house. Like my favorite TV show of all time, Arthur. They used to have the tree house. But just like, but
yeah,
we had fun though. She had a lot of blue jays used to come to the yard. Just beautiful birds.
yeah.
Our memories.
See, I always tell them kids, we grew up in the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these kids grew up in the perfect time. We grew up where you played outside, and we grew up with the video games just starting to come up. We didn't have, I don't think we had live video games until we were in high
Yeah,
school.
so I don't like. I'm not sure the complete history of online gameplay, but it wasn't until high school till it really popped off. At least to me, because it was just like
For us, it
offline.
was, yeah,
Yeah,
for us, it
yeah.
wasn't, yeah,
It was like a perfect, and like essentially you said that because I was going to bring up the same thing. One of my best friends from elementary school, we were just talking about this a couple weeks back. I said, listen, for us, street lights come on, that's curfew.
yeah. We weren't exactly at that point where our parents threw us outside and told us, come back when the street lights on.
Right. Yeah, and you got to trust the people you with. 'Cause like my mom, they gave me like the whole
Yeah,
street. I couldn't go on the other street. Just I could ride the bikes all you want. Got to be on that same street.
yeah. We meet, it was me, one of my friends that lived in the neighborhood, and another one of my friends that from middle school. This was in the summer. We were hanging out and stuff. We got hungry. We ordered a pizza from Domino's, paid that man in a couple quarters, didn't count the quarters. I don't know if we paid him the right amount of change. He looked at us like we were crazy and said, and just shook his head, and he probably said, these kids.
I was like, but see, don't complain about us in the street. We paying you. But I want to talk about kids in the
Yeah,
street. I said, no, we work hard for our money.
paid him in straight quarters. I don't even know if it was
Well,
quarters. You know, it was at that time where they had all those like batting
Mhm.
cages and all those coins you
Celebration
use for
station, yeah,
everything.
that's right.
Celebration station. Some of them coins might have been celebration station tokens and batting cage tokens. Keys.
I mean, it's money. It counts somewhere. What you want me to pay you nothing?
Yeah,
I can pay you Monopoly money.
exactly. I could pay you Monopoly money.
This will be great.
Might have had some Monopoly money in that couple.
Take it or leave it. And it's funny you bring that up. It reminds me of the little like scene of Little Rascals when the kids were dressed up as an old man. He said, "Excuse me, sir, I want to buy some lumber." And so, like, he had some custom coins into the table. The guy looked at the coins, turned back, gave that little block. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You don't start at the top, baby. You got to work your way up.
Uh, so apparently, me and my older cousin, we were terrible when we were kids. We would fight all the time. One day they left us with my papa and they thought, oh, they being so good. They being so good. We were sitting in my granny's closet cutting her clothes up with scissors. She didn't realize, I think she went to some event. She went to some event, maybe a funeral or something.
Origami.
And she had like origami and checkers going all the way down the back of her skirt.
It's fashion.
Yeah. Got those Halloween pumpkins they use for trick
Yeah.
or treating? We stuck that, the little cousin, we with the tree. We stuck that on his head. Got it stuck.
It's hilarious, man. But man, it goes to show you like just how far it's come. Like, one of my god siblings a few years ago just asked me about the phones. I said, like, I had a phone when I was 12, but you gotta understand, like, phones back then weren't what they are today. My first phone was like the small blue Nokia phone with the green screen, and they had that one
Yeah,
game on
I
there.
had it wasn't the Razor, but it was a Motorola that
Mhm.
came out right
Yeah.
after it. That wasn't the flip phone. Wasn't the flip phone. It was just a
'Cause the Razor, I forgot the other name for it because because I want, yeah, the Razor was flip. I was like, you was
yeah.
elite if you had the Razor back in the day.
Yeah. So I had that one, and then I had a Samsung was my next phone that just
Yeah.
slid up. These kids today, you give them an old phone and tell them text, they don't know how to
Like I
text.
said, I said, press the button a couple times.
Yeah,
If you want a space, hold
couple
the
times.
bar.
Yeah. And then I got the BlackBerry.
Yep. I want the BlackBerry so bad.
I had two Blackberries, and then I had a iPhone. When we graduated LSU, I got an iPhone. Not LSU, high school. High school. When we graduated high school, I got an
Yeah.
iPhone.
It's funny. I grew up. I was always an Android person. I didn't get my first iPhone until about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, about
Yeah.
3 years ago at this point. Yeah, because I don't I got rid of Facebook in 23, so it was like a year before that. Yeah, about 3 years
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah. And you'll never go back to Android again.
Yeah, just you never know. I just know it just is more compatible with a lot of like the popular stuff. But as far as computers,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with Windows. I grew up on Windows because I got my Google
Yeah.
accounts. I wouldn't mind getting a Chromebook just for the continuity with everything. Everything's on one thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. My next computer I
mhm,
get for personal use will probably be an iPad
yeah,
just because everything's on there.
you gonna get the attachable
But
keyboard?
I don't know.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I think that's pretty standard
Yeah,
now.
it wasn't because I know like for a lot of stuff
Yeah.
it was still new. And like, cause I was thinking about, I said I wouldn't mind having that as a backup option. Yeah.
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 Yep. Well, any predictions for this weekend?
Tigers win, Tigers win, Tigers win, Tigers
Win.
win.
Get it done in two?
Get it done in two.
We getting it done
Getting
in
it done
two?
in two.
What just popped up? Oh well. Yeah, getting it done in two. I feel like we're getting it done in two. I think it might be a close game or two, but other than that, we're gonna get it
Yeah.
done in two. Come home on Monday, celebrate on Sunday night, come home on Monday and go to championship celebration on Tuesday.
You gotta keep it going. We've been winning a lot lately. It's been a great 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta keep it up. So it wouldn't shock me. I mean, you just gotta get them when you can. You just can't take it for
Yeah.
granted, man.
Yeah, you just can't take it for granted. You gotta get it done when
Yeah.
you get it done.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all I got.
Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. Go
Go
Tigers
Tigers.
and you know, good morning, good night, have a good whatever you got.
Eighth wonder, baby.
Just make it
That's
a
you
good one.
too.
Oh, we're going for number 8.
Eighth wonder.
We're gonna
We're
get
gonna
number
get
8.
up there. You go. That's what I'm talking about. And go. Yes,
Gomaha.
sir.
We're going to Gomaha. We're gonna get number
Yes,
8.
sir.
We can come home and it's already gonna be up on the Intimidate.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait either. Go
Go Tigers.
Tigers. Good night, everybody.